today. I can't wait for you to meet. I want to start with one of the producers of Star Trek. Ladies and gentlemen, TV's Brian Burke is here today. Brian Burke. Oh, yeah. A writer of many things, including Star Trek. Ladies and gentlemen, Roberto Orsi is here. A wonderful actress we're lucky to have in this film, Zoe Saldana, is in the house. Who is better to have here than one of our heroes, Zachary Quinto. And as if that weren't enough, I guess one of the heartthrobs of the future, in addition to our friend Zachary, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kirk, Chris Pine. Thanks, Dad. Are we talking? Are we going to do questions? I'll do any version you guys want to do. Whatever you want. Zachary, do you have a song for us?
Say what?
Do you have a song for us?
A song, a little something.
A little something. What should we do? Should we just start taking questions? Should we do that? I mean, we're happy to talk. What's the plan? No one's talking to us. All right, let's do questions. Should we just jump into questions? Because we can just talk, but I want to know what you guys want to talk about. Here we go. First question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I've heard it said that like a big part of this new iteration of Star Trek is to open it up to a wider audience. How difficult was it to strike the balance between that and making it something that longtime fans of the series can approach as well? And how much are you saying in continuity with everything that's come before?
I'll answer that, and then anything you guys want to say to make me sound smarter. It's a great question you're asking, and you're a fan of Star Trek? Huge fan. Okay, well, then obviously, you know, you're savvy enough to know that if we were just to make the movie for fans of Star Trek, then we would be limiting the audience enormously. And the truth is that because we love this, because we are beholden to you, because the fans of Star Trek are what allow us to make a version of Star Trek now at all, I can assure you we are making this movie for you. In many ways it goes without saying, although it's important that we say it. I've taken some flack for saying in the press, we're making this for future fans of Star Trek, as if we don't care about the existing fans. That could not be farther from the truth. We love and are beholden to existing fans of Star Trek, and one of the ways that we made sure that this movie is going to make you happy is, you know, we had this great range of points of view with the producers. One of them being Brian, who had never seen an episode of Star Trek at all.
It's at this point where he publicly, repeatedly tells everyone what a moron I am.
The reason that Brian's stupid is you... Well, then we've got Bob Orsi, who, as you will hear, I'm sure momentarily, is an absolute avowed Trekker.
Not new.
Yeah, so we have this great balance of people who live and breathe Star Trek and people who are idiots. And I think that, no, I'm kidding. We're like brothers. We have the love. So anyway, so the answer to your question is there are a million references, and the story adheres to canon pretty much about as well as the original series adheres to canon. I mean, the movie really does. And I mean that because, come on, you all know, even the original series, there are some contradictions. But the truth is that we love it, and as someone who was not a fan to begin with, I've come to appreciate and understand, and I actually feel jealous that I didn't get hooked earlier, because I can understand how amazing the show was.
And I think he paid you a really, really great compliment that Star Trek fans were not going to be disappointed. Did you hear anything about that, and what's your take on that comment?
On what Kevin said?
Yes.
Well, it just proves that when you pay someone. Kevin is a friend. I asked him to come see the movie because that's, obviously, you make a movie, you're desperate to have tons of points of view. Kevin is, in addition to many things, hysterically funny, wildly talented. He's painfully honest, and I've shown him things in the past that he has ripped apart and destroyed, and other things he's been very complimentary about. But he's got a wonderful point of view that is very much, from a fan base that I care about deeply. And so among many people who were not just Trek fans, but comic fans, I had him come to see it. And I was just thrilled that his response was what it was, and I paid him.
Hi, I have a simple question for Zach Quinto. Before you went in to film the movie, did you watch all of the original episodes to get a feel for Spock and his mannerisms, or?
I did not watch the original series. I had the advantage of working really closely with Leonard leading up to the production, so I took advantage of that. He and I met a number of times, and he was such a valuable resource for me, and he made himself so incredibly open and available to my questions. So I really used that initially. I started watching the original series actually when we were shooting. I would watch it in my trailer, there was basically always an episode playing when I was sort of hanging out in my room. And that was really great because none of us really, I don't think I can speak for myself, but none of us, and JJ was very clear about this from the beginning, this wasn't an endeavor to try to recreate what was created before us. That was certainly a template, it was certainly a baseline, a foundation for us, but we were all encouraged, and I think all of us did our own work and did our best to bring our own interpretations in a world that is not the same world that we live in now, that in which that show originally took place. So for me, it was a combination of those things, of utilizing Leonard, of doing my own research. I read a lot about the world, I read a lot about the character, but I didn't really, I felt like the words that Bob and Alex gave us and the situations that the characters found themselves in were really the most important thing. So that's where I started. Thank you.
What can you tell us about the process of Cloverfield 2 or some sort of sequel?
I will say that we are actually working on an idea right now that the key, obviously, to doing any kind of sequel, certainly this film included, is it better not be a business decision. And if you're going to do something, it should be because you're really inspired to do it. It doesn't guarantee anything, it doesn't mean it'll work, but it means you did it because you cared, not because you thought you could make a buck. So we have an idea for something that's pretty cool that we're playing with, that if it ends up coming to fruition, would mean there would be something that would be connected to Cloverfield. But I hope it happens sooner than later because the idea is pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're being told we have to leave. I cannot thank you guys enough for coming here. It's such a thrill to see you guys. I hope you enjoyed the movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for our guest panelist from Paramount and Star Wars Entertainment Star Trek, Ms. Golden Chris Hahn, Zachary Quinto.